Joining us now, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, Title 42 ends tomorrow. They knew it was going to end for months and months, really 2 years, because that was their plan all along. And yet they still have no plan to deal with this overwhelming surge. Even CNN had to report that it's 155,000 people along that northern part of the Mexican border with the United States. Now, apparently, a lot of them are not going to be tracked. What next for America?
Well, I think the plan is exactly what you're seeing, Laura. They want the chaos. You're right about that. The plan is to try to collapse our immigration system completely, collapse the courts, collapse the asylum process, overrun the border. That is the plan. That's what they want. They want the chaos. If you thought the fentanyl problem in this country is bad, if you thought it was bad in my state, where it's the #1 cause of death in the state of Missouri for young people, just wait, because they are about to turn it on full throttle. The drugs that will come across this border, the crime that will come across this border, the danger to our families and our communities, it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen in terms of border crossings in our country's history. It already is, and they haven't even lifted Title 42 yet. But Laura, here's what they want. They want the immigration system to collapse because the Democrat Party's base now flies around in jets and conferences in Davos and are a bunch of globalists who want to drive down the price of labor in America. They want to drive down wages for blue-collar workers in America. They want to do the bidding of the global multinationalists. That's who runs the Democrat Party today.
Now, Biden was actually asked a question about the end of Title 42 today. Watch this.
And you said yesterday that the border could be chaotic for a while. Does that mean you feel your administration was not prepared for the end of Title 42 this week?
No. What I was saying is it takes time to put some of what we want to do in place.
Can you expand on what you meant when you said there will be chaos at the border? For how long?
Well, we've had chaos at the border for a number of years. We have to fully fund the border security effort. What we're doing now is making legal immigration more streamlined and moving in a direction that people know that there's a legal way to get here and a not a legal way.
Senator, haven't they had a lot of time to do something ahead of this date? Think about ways to make sure we didn't have a humanitarian crisis and a crime crisis at our southern border?
Yeah, and when he says there's been chaos at the border for years, Laura, that's true ever since he came to office. And let's just remember what's happened since he came to office. We've had 350,000 children smuggled across the border and sold into modern-day slavery by these human traffickers, by the cartels. Joe Biden has let it happen. You've reported on this. He has stood by and let it happen. We're going to see that now at another scale that is just unbelievable. So, yeah, they knew this was coming. They want the chaos. They want collapse of the immigration system so then they can turn around and say, oh, now we've got to let in even more people. Now we've got to let in unlimited numbers of workers. Now we can drive down wages even further. Now we can continue to implement our agenda to basically break the back of blue-collar workers in this country and carry out their globalist plan. And I tell you what, it is going to be a disaster. And you're right. The only way to stop this is to reimpose Title 42. Congress could do it, but Biden won't sign it. We've got to change the guy who's in the White House.
Yeah, I mean, tonight on CNN, I think President Trump hit this issue that they always try to bring up, well, family separation. You separated families at the borders of our country. Look at his response.
Another immigration policy you had was the zero-tolerance immigration policy that separated families at the border. If you are reelected, are you ruling out instituting that?
Well, when you have that policy, people don't come. If a family hears that they're going to be separated, they love their family. They don't come. We have to save our country.
Senator, do we not separate criminal parents from their children? Every time someone violates the law, if they have to go to jail, if they have to be separated for a time, that happens every day in the United States, does it not?
Well, I would go one better than that, Laura, because what President Trump did in his final 2 years of office was to say, if you come to this border, if you come to this country and you're not here legally, we're just going to turn you right back around. And if you want, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to go right back. That is what works. And listen, if you want to apply for asylum, fine, you can do that. But you've got to wait in Mexico or in a safe third country. You can't just come into this country. That is what Joe Biden is changing. They want to talk about families, separating families. who's the one who has lost 100,000 children, migrant
Exactly.
children in this country who are now in slave labor? It's Joe Biden. He's the one who's done that. That's on him. He is morally responsible. So I don't want to hear any talk from them about families. They are ripping kids away from their parents. Who's getting enriched? The cartels. That's on Joe Biden.
What about all the teenagers and 20-somethings in the United States who were dead because of a pill that was given to them, but they thought it was, something else, and it was a fentanyl-laced pill? What about that separation of families? American families have been separated by the crime from the border, have they not? Permanently.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And just on that fentanyl point, I want to say again, Laura, in my state, in the state of Missouri, fentanyl, #1 killer of people between 18 and 54. The state is awash in it. Schools, our communities, where's it coming from? Across the southern border. This is on Joe Biden, and it's about to get infinitely worse as they lift Title 42. We cannot allow this to happen. We
How
have
is
got
this
to
not
close that
impeachable?
border and enforce the law.
Senator, I said this last
Well,
summer.
I tell you-
How is this not an impeachable, ongoing impeachable offense, what they're allowing to happen to this country?
This is what I said to Alejandro Mayorkas, who you played a clip of a minute ago, last time he was before the Senate. I said, how is it you're still in office? I mean, why are you sitting here after what you have allowed to happen, the drugs that have come in, the children sold into slavery, the crime? It is outrageous. He needs to be removed from office. We need to send the message that this is not acceptable in the United States of America.
Yeah, he's doing the bidding of Joe Biden and the globalists, you're right. So he's actually doing what they want him to do, but it's completely undermining everything we love about our country. Senator, thank you for being a leader on this issue.